OBS problem.
We've discovered something, guys.
Yay.
It's an OBS problem.
One more thing to resolve.
Yep. All right. Well, welcome back. We were halfway through a discussion around, not halfway through, almost finished a discussion for the time being around goal setting and breaking down goals.
Yeah. So look, I think we've demonstrated what the process is to some extent or another. Now we're going to finish all that off stream. And
we'll probably present it next time we chat about it.
Yeah, we'll run through it very quickly, I suppose. But
Yep.
This then becomes the kind of backbone about
how we make decisions, what we do.
Yeah, how we spend our time.
And how we measure that time and reflect upon what we've been doing.
So that's right. So the goal is to the goal of the goals is to give us that framework that we can then actually start building some analytics around, building some measurement and things that we can reflect on and understand what's effective and what's not.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, we need to go on to the next important thing, but let's just take a quick intermission and then we'll come back. So I'm Josh and this is Simon.
Hello.
We're in a band called Frights, or we are a band called Frights, I should say, not in a band. And we are taking everyone who's listening and watching on a journey through making a successful, sustainable music band that interacts with culture and et cetera, so forth, which I've said 1,000 times.
And we'll say 1,000 more times.
And we'll say 1,000 more times and better every time, hopefully. All right, we'll be back in a sec.
Okie dokie.
Hello. We're back again for our third and final segment in this stream. Oh, and of course Ducky is going nuts.
He's also here.
Yeah, he's also here. I'm Josh, this is Simon. We are Frights, and that is Duck, the loud dog, the loud sausage. We're part of Frights. We are working towards a sustainable music career together, and we're taking you on the journey with us.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That's a thing.
That is a thing. That's a kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're making music and friends along the way. Oh, this is going to be annoying because I have to go do and then do.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to talk about is we haven't picked a distribution service. So we have a heap of music sitting around that we've been talking about and not showing anyone yet because we're a classic archetype of an artist, a lazy ass artist who's done a lot of work but not shown anyone.
Bloody bludgers.
Yeah, I reckon.
A lot of them.
Classic bludgers. Anyway, so one of the things that's been holding us back is getting it out there into people's faces. The marketing components and all that is a lot we've talked about. We haven't talked about the practical components of actually getting music into the world. There's a lot of YouTube videos and stuff that are region specific, so depending on which country you're in. We're in Australia, but these distribution services are generally international distribution services and push your music into all of the relevant streaming platforms and distribution networks. Like you would have heard of some of these: Ditto, Distrokid, CD Baby, etc., etc., etc. But there are a lot, so I've found, and I've got a little document done by a cool dude. Ari's Take is the name of the little kind of segment thing, and he's got this really great spreadsheet that kind of puts together a lot of the data around each of these streaming services, comparing them to one another. I'm not sure when's the last time he updated this, but it's relatively recent because it's in the last year or two, so it's good. So we are going to go through this right now for us because we need to know, and we're going to just show you guys as well because it's useful. So I'm just going to switch over to the old iPad view again. There it is. There's Ari, and there's my mouse. And now I can use the iPad and zoom in and out. There we go. All right, so you can see there are the three that I mentioned before: CD Baby, Distrokid, Ditto, and I don't know if I've heard of Lander. Let me know if you've heard of any of these, Simon. Amuse, Fresh Tunes, Octave, One. Oop, don't do that. Reverb Nation I've heard of. Don't do that. Why is it doing that?
Because you're twisting. What are you twisting for?
I'm trying not. TuneCore, I've heard of TuneCore as well, and that seems to be all of the...
There was one Sam was talking about the other day.
Yeah, I can't remember what he was saying, to be honest. So we have to pick one of these. I mean, there has been a question that arose that we might be able to answer at some point, but it might not be today.
Amuse.
Can you? Huh?
Amuse.
Yeah, I said that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's there. It's the first one.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you can't really see that, can you?
No, it's a bit dark.
It's a bit dark.
Lift your game, Ari.
Yeah.
Ari's take.
Ari's take.
That's Simon's take. Is your typographic contrast is not there.
Yeah. I'm just going to flip this so it's a bit easier for me to see. Flippy. Thank you. There's been a question that's arisen: do we have to pick one, or can we use multiple depending on the product we are going to release? And I think if we're talking about things that we need around this, I think we probably need to have a quick discussion about what we need. We need to upload regularly and a lot, because that's one of our goals, even though we haven't kind of demonstrated that in our goal setting. Is to release roughly a tune a week. So an original song every 8 weeks, and then a derivative song for 6 weeks of that remaining 8 weeks with maybe a week off. We don't know.
So that could be a cover, that could be a remix, that could be a...
hip-hop, sampled hip-hop thing or whatever. Some derivative product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or it could be a cover of another song that's inspired or this song sits in conversation with. Yeah. So we want
acoustic version.
acoustic version. Well, I mean, that's technically a cover in my head. Cover of our own song. An acoustic version.
I mean, is it?
Yeah.
Is it possible to cover your own song? Is that
Yeah.
a thing?
Well, I mean, you could
Is that
say...
not just an alternate version of your...
I mean, there's a whole heap of arguments around it. You know, given that we're a collection of artists, I think calling it a cover is totally fine, because me and Matt might write most of the song, and then you might cover it,
Okay,
or Tommy might cover it, and yet we're still kind of part of the same group of people.
fine.
I don't know. When I say cover, I'm talking about when I'm talking about derivative products. When I'm saying cover, I'm talking about acoustic versions or whatever.
Okay,
Acoustic
let's continue.
Yeah. Anyway,
The point is, we're going to have to be
releasing
putting
regularly.
stuff up on the platform regularly. So something that charges us... does that mean like something that charges us per upload is going to be less effective for us than something that charges us per month for unlimited uploads?
Something like that.
Is that one of the differences between these things? Or?
Yeah, and what they are written here, so it actually is quite useful.
Okay.
So regularly upload is one of our kind of core requirements. Covers is potentially one of our others, and when I say covers in this case, I'm talking about songs that sits in conversation with that we've covered. So if we want to cover a Daft Punk song or a Gorillaz song or whatever, we want to be able to release those as their own discrete tracks. So question mark on covers. Collaborations. So a lot of what we're doing is collaborations with other artists. So we want it to be, even though they're features, in a lot of cases, like Frights featuring Ghost Coast, or Frights featuring Pistol Black, or whatever. We want to be able to do simultaneous releases on the Spotify pages, I think, so that when we release it, it pops up on their page as well. So, like release collaborations, I guess, is how you'd call it, and we'll find out what it's called on this particular graph. Release collaboration. I mean, down the list somewhere is cost effective, obviously, and then the last another goal is making that doesn't disappear. So if a payment gets missed or anything like that, we don't want the songs to disappear.
Perpetual.
Perpetual, that's the word. Yeah, perpetual release. Cool. Do you have any other goals to add to that particular idea?
Look, I feel like in this context, I don't really know what I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know what's important. But as we work down the list, because it seems to be there's lots of stuff here.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff. So let's just go through let's go through all the companies that are on here first. We got Amuse, AWOL, CD Baby, Distrokid, come on now, Ditto, Fresh Tunes, Chorus Music, or Horace Music. Horace Music.
Considering it's got the Eye of Horus there,
yeah.
I think it gets Horus.
Yeah, Horace. Lander, Octave, 1 RPM, Reverb Nation, Route Note, Sound Drop, Stem, Symphonic, and TuneCore. Now, some of these I haven't heard of. And then let's just go down quickly the list of things that he's looked into. So we've got launch date, which doesn't really matter. We don't really care if they've got an app or not. Parent company, don't really care about that either, unless it's something like Live Nation. Then I've got a problem with it.
Murdoch Corporation.
Yeah, anything
News
like
Corp.
that. Anyone who has a significant stranglehold on the market, I've got a problem with, because it can stitch you up later down the track.
All right. Well, if that's a deal breaker for us, do any of these have that? Sorry, I'm distracting you here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Doesn't look like it. It looks like they're all Sound Drops owned by CD Baby. So I'd be interested to see what the difference is between those two. That's an interesting connection. And then CD Baby is in turn owned by Downtown, whoever the hell that is. So there you go. Layers.
Wheels within wheels.
Yes. So direct distribution or partner. So I think our kind of goal there would probably be mostly direct distribution if we can get it. But I don't know what necessarily partner means in this case if they use one of the other services. Like Ditto says both, but I don't know what that means. So we can figure that out. Number of outlets that it distributes to. Obviously, the bigger the number, the better. But it doesn't necessarily.
But at the
matter.
same time, as long as it's Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, does it like
TikTok Music.
Yeah, okay.
And probably some of the slightly smaller streaming services like
Pandora.
And what's the one, the 50 cent one or the whatever it is, not 50
Oh,
cent.
Tidal.
Tidal.
I find it hard to believe that any of them would not do the big ones.
Oh, they absolutely would do all of those.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know any other streaming services, do you?
Does Rhapsody still exist? Is that still a thing?
I don't know, but I wonder if like
Napster's a streaming service now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I also wonder if it's like
Last FM.
What's included, or iHeartRadio or some of the other kind of like when we're talking about distribution networks, we're talking about not just streaming services. We're talking about places music goes to
Getting
get used.
into
Libraries, yeah, exactly. It'd be interesting to know what this outlets thing means in the context of this.
That's fair. If radio plays something we're keen to get, then just having something that only goes to Spotify and the DSPs is probably not as
great.
helpful.
No. Yeah. And none of these would, for instance, like for us in Australia, one of the biggest things is Triple J, and they have their own unique system for accepting submissions, so you kind of have to upload to them separately.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So like Triple J Unearthed is just like a social media platform in itself, where you have to upload your own shit.
Right. And is that a route that we're... But
I'd be putting
artists are not doing that. They're not going through it.
But we're indie artists, and we're not established artists.
But what I'm saying is there's another pathway there that we're just ignorant of.
Well, it's not that we're ignorant of. We know what it is. It's the classic record label system. That's the other way to get into Triple J. There's 2 ways.
Right.
Or 3 ways.
So to be part of a label. And it gets ingested as part of...
Directly with the presenters or directly with the content team. So that's a fun noise.
That'll be the dust extractor next door.
So obviously Unearthed is their kind of social media platform, and just like every radio station, their presenters have relationships around the industry and network, and if they hear a song they like, they're going to play it. They get choices, like once an hour they can put up whatever the hell they want, I think, or that's what it used to be. I don't know if that's that now. Old school DJ style. Old school DJs used to do whatever the hell they wanted on the networks in a lot of cases. And then the third option is the classic record label situation where reps from the labels come and talk about releases that are coming up.
Sure.
Yep.
All right.
So that that's something that we haven't really spoken about on these things. But for us, that's really important in our local marketplace, right?
Yeah, in Australia, there's lots of other stuff as well. There's like AMRAP, and whatever it is to get onto there's a network that runs through all the regional radio stations, so that you can get your music ingested in there, and it becomes an option for.
That might be included in some of these too, those kinds of services.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, depends. Anyway, so the next thing is what the commission is. So what does the streaming company take off of the top? The other thing that's not included on here is Bandcamp, but that's its own platform. It's not really a distributor. It's a shop front. Yeah. Open to all. So yes is obviously what we want. So AWOL is out, I think.
What's that mean? Open to all, did you say?
Yeah, I'm assuming it means if you want to put music up, you can just put music up. You don't have to do anything. Whereas AWOL seems to be submission. It's moderated somehow, which is interesting.
Okay.
Sign up fee, distribution fee. So there's fees like CD Baby, for instance. You can see it's got for each song is $10, perpetual.
Mm-hmm.
And an album is $50. Which is not bad.
Right.
I find that like quite perpetual distribution where you don't have to worry about it disappearing.
Oh yeah, it's totally fine. Yeah. But what I'm not understanding is, so if I release an album with 4 songs,
Mm-hmm.
is just the fact that it's an album mean that I have to pay
$50.
$50
Probably.
just for it to be wrapped up in whatever
Yeah, I'd imagine
information
so.
wrapper?
Yeah.
But
We could look into that, but you can see that if we look at Distrokid and Ditto, you've got one artist, $19 per year for unlimited songs.
But with the expectation that that's not perpetual, is that right?
Yeah. So I from the little research that I've done is that if you don't pay that fee, all your songs get ripped off the platforms.
Right.
They stop being distributed,
So
and you lose all the data associated with them.
so $20 a year.
If we're talking about releasing a song a week, we're talking about 50. So let's say 50 songs a year, roughly. That's whatever that is, $500, $10 per song.
Mm-hmm.
Per year, but it's perpetual. We never have to pay that again. But then if you say it's 10 years for one artist, that's only $200.
Yeah.
For
10 years.
For 10 years, and that's a lot more songs.
Yeah. But I mean, that fee is going to go up over time.
Yeah. And I mean, Ditto's even is roughly the same price, but they've also got more distributors. But a lot of other ones do tracks, and we'll come back to that.
Okay, just run me down the rest of the list of
yearly fees.
things.
So some have yearly fees. You can see distribution fees there. Fees for adding outlets. So Distrokid has other outlets you can add that cost money. Release automated, whatever that means. Speed to Apple Music in weekdays.
This feels like doing taxes. This is awful.
What do you mean? Yeah, well,
comparing all this stuff.
Well, I know. But it's something that we need to decide.
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Yeah. These are interesting stats though. Like speed to Apple Music. Like it's 5 business days, and then this AWOL one has requests for take 4 weeks. Because it's moderated by humans, so humans take time.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no point at being in Apple Music in 4 days if it's always going to take 2 weeks to get into Spotify.
Yeah, but it says it's speed to Spotify. It takes. Is it what is it in Spotify that takes the time?
I don't know. My understanding from just anecdotal stuff from artists is like, just 2 weeks. You got to give it 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just a assumption that it's going through DistroKid or something. I don't know.
Maybe. All right. So speed to Spotify, in-house Spotify playlist plugger. So some have these kind of things that push it to
which is probably a good thing, because the internal Spotify playlists are a bit of a dog to navigate. It's my understanding.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how it just keeps twisting on me. Custom label name, which we don't care about. Additional artist cost. I don't know what that means, but I guess it's about distribution. Yeah, that's about, say if you release stuff under 2 different names.
Okay.
So, for DistroKid, it costs you more per year because you're paying for 2 effectively release pathways, if that makes sense. Distribution pathways. Because you say a Frights and then a different one. I wonder if that you say if you have 2 artist names. Like Prince and the
But why
artist.
But why don't you just have 2 accounts?
Well, you could have 2 accounts, but it would cost you more.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. What's it like? So ISRC codes and UPC codes, takedown costs. I don't know what ISRC codes. I'm assuming they're like the book codes, right? They're similar to the book codes.
Like ISBNs.
Yeah.
I suppose so. There might be some. It might be a code that gets used by a particular region, like the UK might use it.
Yeah.
But in APRA, it's something else.
Takedown costs, if we want to ever take anything down. iTunes, Google, and Amazon pre-order. We don't care about that necessarily. YouTube monetization. A lot of them have opt-in. So that's useful. YouTube content ID monetization. So if it gets used on something else. SoundCloud monetization. Publishing admin partner. We don't. So that's just information about what they do. I mean, we probably give a shit about publishing because we want to see that money come back. In a lot of cases, the publishing comes back through the platforms, as far as I understand it. Sound Exchange collection. So that's your publishing. iTunes digital booklet. We don't really care about that necessarily. Pandora radio submission.
Sorry, iTunes digital booklet, did you say?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I'm assuming it means like your CD liner notes kind of thing. In a more graphical way.
Okay, so for iTunes.
Yeah, that's what it seems
Right.
like.
Okay.
Yeah, these are things that I didn't even know existed.
Neither did I.
Pandora radio submission. You would hope that would be part of the distribution. Beatport distribution. Don't know what Beatport is. Probably not necessarily relevant to us, but maybe it is. We'll have to look up some of this stuff.
This is just giving us more homework.
Well, yeah, it is. That's the point. ISRCs before upload. Not available without hack, apparently, is for whatever that one is. Distrokid. Sound scan registration. Opt out of outlets and territories, so you can choose when songs get released. Payment. So some of them are weekly, some of them are monthly, some of them are about withdrawal. Like you can withdraw them immediately, 60 days. Different options there. I don't like in Australia, our writing royalties don't come in. It depends on how prolific you are. Like for me, because I don't earn that much off APRA at the moment, it's every quarter this payment. But artists who are kind of professionals, more professional than me, and have a lot of income they get monthly revenue payments.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So you can call them up and get them to change it. For writing royalties. Payment splitting, payment thresholds, obviously, kind of okay, but we don't really care about that. Apple and Spotify trending reports, probably quite useful.
Absolutely useful.
For metrics. It seems like daily with musicians plus or label plans. Updated hourly.
So some of these have different levels.
2 days
of plans
daily.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's Distrokid. This is why like CD Baby or something like that is I'm fine with. Do you know what I mean? Release cover songs. They all seemed that was one of our things, and so that I would say yes, that's important.
Right. So does that eliminate any of them for us?
So far, no. It's all right. I think just reading through this based in the moment, I'm kind of getting an idea of what I'm interested in.
Okay.
Obtain mechanical licenses for cover songs, cost and commission. $1 a month. Some of them are. So these are the costs. We probably do want obtaining mechanical licenses, because I think mechanical licenses is the writing royalty. I can't remember which is which. Can you look up what the mechanical royalty means?
Yep. Mechanical royalties. Well, this says royalties earned through the reproduction of copyrighted works in digital and physical formats.
Okay, so that's the
Songwriters
master.
are paid mechanical royalties per song sold, downloaded, and streamed.
Songwriters. Okay, so the mechanical royalties are the writing. So what it's asked, obtain mechanical license. So that would be a license because you've made a cover song that is owned by Beyonce or whoever.
So it will automatically license it.
Yeah,
fine
for a fee, which is important.
Fine.
Yeah. So which one is that one? So that one's AWOL. What's that one? CD Baby and Distrokid. So Distrokid's the big fat one, and then Ditto's the next one. These are the three that I was looking at anyway. It was this fat one in the middle here, where's my mouse? I'll point to it with my mouse. This one here. That one's Distrokid, and then that one's Ditto, and then this one is CD Baby. So for CD Baby, it's $15 per song for a cover. For mechanical, to get the mechanical license, but for the mechanical license so
it's $10 to upload the song.
Distrokid is $1 a month per song.
Per song.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That still feels like a lot.
I thought it was 10 per song, but maybe they have a buyout that you can do. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. Customer support email. We don't care about that. Customer phone support. We we kind of do care about customer support in this case, because if something happens with the songs, that it's going to really stitch up our ability to operate. So there needs to be some amount of customer support. It seems like Distrokid, CD Baby has significantly good support. You can call them on the fucking phone. That's good.
Wow.
Distrokid doesn't. It's all email correspondence, which is not very useful for us, which is why, again, I'm looking at CD Baby. Costs a bit more, but it's perpetual, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, the perpetualness of it is attractive.
Yeah. Revenue reports. This is interesting. Poor, decent, clear and intelligible. That's the CD Baby one. Calculus degree required is the listing for for Distrokid.
Wow.
And ditto is clear and intelligible. So, yeah, like yeah.
It's a good thing I got my calculus degree.
You got a calculus degree?
Pi r squared. No.
Okay.
I don't have a calculus degree, but I can read analytics.
CD Baby also has the highest number of registered artists by the looks of things. At 650,000 artists.
That's so interesting, because my impression of CD Baby, based on the little that I know, is that it's very like old school. And
it is. It was like one of the earliest ones. I mean, we can go back up the top in a second and have a look. But number of songs released, 7.34 million for CD Baby, and Distrokid's got 1.62 million. So
wow.
You know, Distrokid's a newer company, significantly newer company. Like,
yeah, but I just would have, like, again, from just talking to artists over the years and things, is Distrokid seems like the perfunctory choice.
Well, CD Baby used to put CDs in shops.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm aware.
They're that old, you know. We're almost at the bottom.
All right.
Number of labels, they don't really name them for some, but I don't really think that really matters. Offer advances, there's only AWOL that offers advances, because I think they're a specific, and distributing to China. The only one that out of the three that we're looking at currently that distributes to China is CD Baby. Which is it important? I don't know. Having worldwide distribution kind of seems like it is kind of important to me.
I don't imagine that we're going to break into the Chinese market.
Why not?
They got a lot going on.
They do have a lot going on.
They got their, JJ Lin's.
That's true. They do have their JJ Lings. All right. I think a lot of the, like, after reading all those things, I think cost effective is really down the list for me. I would prefer.
Well, it seems like even the most expensive ones are not that expensive.
Yeah, I would prefer a perpetual license and good reports that are easy to read.
Yeah, for $500 or $600 a year, like that's not a lot of money, especially split multiple ways.
Yeah, and it seems like with CD Baby, you get a bit more flexibility with what you're doing. Like, CD Baby was founded in the .com boom in 1998, so it's a 25-year-old company at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Distrokid is half that age. It was founded in 2013. Ditto is actually quite old. I didn't realise how old Ditto was at 2005. There you go.
Wow.
So, like, I don't mind the single album thing. A lot of the stuff we're going to be doing is singles, and what's $10 a week? It's no coffee for us for one day. It does have the number of outlets for CD Baby is problematic, though. It has less outlets, but I don't know what that means.
What is that? Yeah. What does outlets mean?
Well, let's have a look. Can you just look up Ari's take and then outlooks? Outlooks, not outlooks, outlets. You can tell I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I'm ready for a nap.
Yeah, me too. Second nap.
All right, so I've got the chart thing. So Command F, outlet.
Do you reckon he gets paid by Distrokid to put them at the top of the list?
Dunno.
You can use multiple distributors for multiple releases. However, you can only use one distributor for each release. There you go. There's a question answered. Digital distribution companies are evolving into one-stop royalty collection shops for DIY musicians.
I hate to throw a spanner into the works here.
Have you got a newer one?
I don't know that it's a new. Well, maybe it's definitely got things on it that one doesn't have. Yeah,
there's a few extra ones on there.
Number of outlets. It's still a lot of outlets. 150 plus for CD Baby.
Who the hell is Too Lost?
Well, they've only launched in 2020. So 0 sign up fee, 0 distribution fee. There is a yearly fee.
I think that we can probably safely say that we have more reading to do at this point. I think the first thing that we're going to do is read this article here, which was published this month, actually, like after. Yeah, so this has been updated since I looked at this last, about 2 weeks ago, on Ari's take. Best music distribution companies in 2024, a full comparison chart, and looks like it's a really great resource. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it quits for today, and we're going to read through this. I think it would be very boring to watch us read this on the stream.
Well, in any case, like it's been good to kind of understand the depth at which. Like the complexity of the options,
and this isn't even the most complex part. The thing that is really problematic for artists is the royalty component of writing music. There is so many things that are lost, and some of the biggest artists in the world don't understand this stuff, and they have managers to do that, and then in some cases managers that rip them off, like our mate Kevin Parker with Modular and all his international royalties.
What a story, hey?
Yeah. Anyway.
And that's why Modular doesn't exist anymore.
Correct. So I think what you've said is that we've got a lot more reading to do, and it's shined a light on a few interesting things.
Well, yeah, I'm still not clear, even after looking through this, exactly what an outlet is. I think it's like an endpoint, like YouTube Music would be an outlet. Vivo would be an outlet, but it's really not clear. It is interesting to look at like what some of these things that are coming up are in terms of music libraries, like music libraries in Canva.
Oh, I mean,
or
Canva
in Pinterest,
yeah,
or Shazam. Like it's easy just to not think of these things as existing, but of course you need to be ingested into those.
Like just to kind of highlight what that term might mean. This is a little paragraph taken from this document. Too Lost distributes directly to most of the 450 outlets, and does not use intermediary distributors, who often charge commission fees and skim off the top. So. What I think that means is like there's a whole of that 150 that are used by, say, CD Baby, 1 or 2 of those might be mass distributors that do a whole heap of little ones that factor into why this number's so big for this new company called Too Lost.
Right, because every one of those is direct.
They're direct, yeah. Right.
I don't know. Two Lost is seeming pretty good to me, just based on the little skim of the table.
Yeah, I just saw the word fraud before, so I'm going to read that.
That's annoying.
I'm going to go back and read that. So Two Lost also distributes to many more outlets than the other distributors, including non-traditional DSPs like Sound Exchange, Grace Note, Shazam, Peloton, Canva, and most of the Chinese, African, Arabic, Korean DSPs for no additional cost. Some other distributors like Distrokid offer some of these outlets but charge for them. However, if you have a sync deal, you may not want to opt into all these outlets, namely the music libraries like Canva and Pinterest. Which are,
It's a fair point, but it doesn't affect us.
It does.
Or will it affect us eventually? Is that
like say if we did sync to a song to a film, that would certainly affect a song being directly available in a library for $30 a use.
Right.
When a film might offer you 50,000.
Okay.
So you've got to weigh up that.
So, but if that was to happen,
Assumably,
like
you
two
could pull it
parts.
off the platform and put it on a different one that takes it out of those.
Right, but you'd
distribution
lose all the data associated with it.
Yeah. So we need to make a decision. We'd make a decision. I think for me, around that, I would take the.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
big
clear.
option.
There's a goal for us to eventually have things show up in places like film.
Yeah, because part of our goal as artists is to be culturally relevant and engage with culture and continue the conversation, the cultural conversation.
Yeah.
So
with $30 sync deals, that's not going to happen.
No, it's going to be some guy who made a little tiny Canva video that 3 people saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was probably mandatory training at their company.
TAFE degree or something. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming that's what outlets means, which is a useful kind of thing to.
Right. So it's the end point where a consumer is actually listening to the thing.
Yeah, where the thing is getting touched.
Yeah. Fine. Easy.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it. I think we can call it there. Hold on. Let me go up and over and back there. There we go. Thanks for joining us for this week's stream. Big one.
Yeah.
Long one.
We need to make them short.
Yeah, but we're moving
to the point.
And that we're still figuring out stuff, and we're trying to show you actually how long it takes to do this. Like the illusion that musicians have, and one of the things we're trying to dispel more broadly is that you wake up one morning and you have a number 1 hit. This overnight, overnight success takes a long time. There's a truism that people say all the time.
Took a decade to become an overnight success.
Yeah, or something like that.
Something in that vein.
Yeah. That kind of idea is total bullshit, and by seeing how long this kind of stuff takes and us fumbling around with it is kind of a demonstrating element of it, so that you understand how much time you need to put aside for some of this work. Yeah, it's always a constant conversation that we're having with artists that we've worked with in the past, is that you just can't wake up and put a song out that day and expect it to do well. You can expect it to do well as much as you want it, though. All right, so I'm Josh, Simon, Matt the ethereal, Ducky the doggo, the sausage. Thanks for joining us for the weekly Fright stream, where we talk about our progress as a band into becoming a cultural touchstone, so that we can continue the cultural conversation in music and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.